Trump says the United States has secured 50% of the profit from the Gordie Howe Bridge. But Washington did not get half of the bridge, half of the toll money forever, or full control of the crossing. This difference between the headline and the real details makes the story very interesting. Canada paid for the 6.4 billion Canadian dollar project. The bridge created a new major trade route between Ontario and Michigan. Canada is also facing another tariff fight on August 19th. So, who really came out ahead? Here are 5 important developments that show what Trump actually won, what Canada kept, and why automakers should pay close attention. Trump's claim that the U.S. got 50% of the profit may sound like America took half of the bridge, but the actual agreement is much more limited. For the first 15 financial years, Canada must pay 50% of certain net revenues from the bridge and crossing into a U.S.-controlled economic development fund. Net revenue means the money left after operating costs are paid. It does not mean that the U.S. will always get half of every toll dollar. Washington also gained some limited influence over certain toll changes. But the most important point is that the agreement did not change the bridge's ownership management system or financial structure that was set in 2012. So yes, the United States gained a share of the revenue, but it did not get half ownership of the bridge, half of Canada's investment, or permanent full control of the crossing. But understanding what Washington received is only one part of the story. When the bridge opened, political claims faced a simple fact that was hard to ignore. Traffic had started moving. The Gordie Howe International Bridge opened to passenger and commercial traffic on July 27, 2026, after years of construction. But the political fight did not end. As tariff tensions grew, Canada also scaled back plans for a large joint opening celebration. Still, the opening showed how closely the economies of the two countries are connected. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer crossed the bridge in a Ford Mustang built in Michigan, highlighting the bridge's importance to the auto industry. Then, on August 5th, the toll-free path for pedestrians and cyclists also opened. Washington won some important concessions, but it did not stop the project or take control of the bridge. The crossing is now moving real goods and trade, while politicians continue to argue about political influence. And once real traffic started using the bridge, the debate turned to a much bigger question. What does this bridge really mean for North America's auto supply chain? For automakers, the Gordie Howe Bridge is not mainly about politics. It is about logistics. The bridge directly connects Ontario's Highway 401 with Michigan's Interstate 75. This connects two major industrial regions that work almost like one large production system. The Windsor-Detroit Gateway handles about 30% of Canada-U.S. truck trade, with more than 274 million Canadian dollars worth of goods moving through the area every day. Engines, transmissions, electronics, car seats, battery materials, and metal parts often cross the border several times during production. With today's just-in-time manufacturing, even one delayed truck can cause problems for an entire car assembly line. The new bridge adds more lanes, more inspection capacity, better highway connections, and, most importantly, another route when major disruptions happen. That makes the bridge a valuable backup for the North American supply chain. But this also raises a difficult question at the center of the entire deal. Canada spent billions of dollars to build this bridge. So, did Ottawa give up too much of its future financial benefit? Before we get to the top 2 developments, if you enjoy automotive stories where cars, trade, and government policy come together, please like the video and subscribe to Piston Pundit. It helps us reach more automotive fans like you. Now, the long-term economic value of this bridge becomes even more interesting. Canada spent about 6.4 billion Canadian dollars to build the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Although the bridge is jointly owned with Michigan, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority operates the crossing and collects the tolls. That makes the 15-year revenue-sharing deal very important. But the real value of infrastructure cannot be measured by toll money alone. Canada and Michigan gained 6 additional traffic lanes, large border inspection facilities, a direct connection from Highway 401 to I-75, and an important backup route during traffic jams, accidents, maintenance, or other disruptions. Truck drivers can now compare toll costs, travel times, and border processing speeds when choosing their routes. Washington gained part of the early revenue, But Canada and Michigan may have kept something even more valuable. Important trade capacity that can be used for decades. And this long-term capacity could become even more valuable very soon, because the bridge is only just opened, while another major tariff fight between Canada and the United States is already approaching. The bridge is open, but the wider economic fight between Canada and the United States is getting stronger. On August 6th, Canadian Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Chief Negotiator Janice Charette met with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Ottawa was trying to reach a broader agreement on tariffs affecting different industries. At the same time, additional 50% U.S. tariffs on certain Canadian products are scheduled to take effect on August 19th, unless the policy changes. This creates a major problem for automakers. Factories across North America depend on engines, metals, car parts, and finished vehicles moving smoothly across the border. But tariff policies are making these supply chains more uncertain. The new bridge reduces physical problems at the border, but political tensions continue to grow. And that brings us back to one simple but important question. Did Washington get the better deal? Or did Canada give up short-term revenue in exchange for something much more valuable over the long term? Final verdict: Washington won cash. Canada won capacity. If we put the political arguments aside, both countries gained something valuable. Washington secured payments equal to 50% of certain net bridge revenue for 15 years, along with limited influence over some toll changes. But the United States did not get half of the bridge, half of Canada's investment, or full control of the crossing. The existing Canada-Michigan ownership and management structure remains in place. Canada accepted a real financial concession to put an important trade route into operation between two highly connected manufacturing regions. Now the real test begins. Over the next few decades, this deal will be judged by how easily goods move, how much the auto industry grows, how smoothly factories operate, how strong the supply chain remains, and how reliably cars and parts can cross the border when problems happen. Washington got the early cash, while Canada gained long-term trade capacity. In the end, whichever becomes more valuable will decide who really won the battle over this bridge. So, what do you think? Did Canada give up too much money to get the bridge opened? Will the Gordie Howe crossing prove more valuable to Canadian industry than the 15 years of payments going to Washington? And could the August 19th tariff fight put even more pressure on North America's closely connected auto supply chain? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We want to know how you think this trade battle will develop. And if you want to stay updated on the latest vehicle news, changes in the automotive industry, and major developments affecting the cars and trucks we drive, subscribe to Piston Pundit and turn on notifications for our upcoming videos. You can also watch any of the videos on the screen right now. There is plenty more to explore. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.